Well, hello, I'm Barry with Empty Hammock, where you never know what you're going to see. Today you're going to see me working on the wall again. I've gotten the full length, the complete
baseline put out for how long the whole wall is going to be. Really? Is that necessary?
Yes.
Right. Gotten the full length put out, so now all I'm doing is just stacking it up and trying to meet it back up with the other side at the final height. I'm filling it in with all of the old, just gravelly, full of rocks, debris that I had left over from when I dug out the big hole where the tank is. This is the third day that I've been jackhammering now. I wasn't quite expecting this much rock. It's only about 3 or 4 feet down on one side, and then it's nothing but solid rock underneath of that. So I'm gonna end up having to go about 3 feet through the rock. Here we go. Yeah. Makes my hands numb. And then trying to put some better topsoil, maybe mulch on top to finish the whole thing off. Now that the actual wall itself is finished, all the rest of these rocks are just in the way. I need to get them out of the way so I can continue smoothing and getting everything finalized. There's a spot on the other side of my house that Molly wants another wall built later on. So I'm going to take these rocks
and move them from here over. Will you stop?
So I'm going to take all the rocks from here and move them over there. Congratulations, you just time traveled about a week. We had a bunch of rain and I had some work I had to go do, a few different jobs. So now finally I'm back on this. I'm gonna get the other bucket put onto my machine so that I can actually make this whole area smooth. I started digging out right here behind me for a little patio area. Not sure exactly what that's gonna look like yet. I'm just sort of making it up as I go, like I do with most everything. But I need to get the other bucket on the machine so I can make this all smooth. I also have to figure out where to get enough dirt to fill in the rest of this area, since I used up all of the rocks. I was out here a couple of days ago. I saw this tiny little bullfrog hanging out right there. And I looked up inside there, and that's where the discharge from the tank is coming from, and there's a little bit of water in the end of the pipe. So, without even knowing it, I've made a little tiny bullfrog habitat. We can sort of see now the basic idea of the slope coming down off of this area after I get it flattened out and covered with dirt and seeded. That way I can just mow the hill without having to have a bunch of weeds. All of those weeds I'm going to end up taking out. That's actually not weeds, it's blackberry bushes. I've been leaving them because we eat them, but I think it's time to move on since we have such a giant pile of them in our garden. And the ones in our garden are thornless, which is a plus. Ah, mosquito. Looks like local deer have been enjoying our sweet potato greens on this side of the fence, which is fine. Get them nice and fattened up for this fall. I think we have plenty for ourselves. Well, despite my best effort, another month has gone by since I last filmed. You can see the grass is starting to grow up on the top there. I had to go do a few other jobs. Built another foundation and did some other stuff. I still have to make a living. So, I'm gonna get back on this today. Hopefully will be the last day I'm working on it. Get everything all smoothed back out final and put it in the mulch. Some of Molly's plants have migrated out here because we're treating them, trying to get them ready to get put into the solarium for the winter, and needed to spread them out. So I'm gonna have to move all that stuff so I have access to everything. Next step here is the pulling the machine out and getting all the ground completely flattened out. I don't have time to grow grass for this season, but I really need to not have a ton of mud in my house. I hate that. So I'm gonna cover everything with wood chips that I have from my big pile. I have an arborist friend who dumps off wood chips for me as he gets them. So we're gonna spread all that out. I need the ground to be as flat as I can get it under that mulch, which will eventually decay out and turn into dirt. I think I have figured out how exactly I'm going to finish off this part of the hill. This hill has been the bane of my existence since we got this property. It's always been very unkept and hard to mow, as you can tell by the stuff that I just took out. There is one stump still on the hill from a tree that I actually knocked over in 2014. When we were originally redoing everything back in this area. Looking back at it now, I wish that I had just kept it all forest, but is what it is. So I am going to try to pull that stump up. Almost 10 years now. Hopefully it's decayed enough that it's not going to be too big of an issue, because it was a fairly large tree. If I can get that stump out, then I'm going to just sort of knock the top peak of this hill off and make it more of a smooth, contoured kind of idea, so that I can just literally keep it mowed. I'm gonna let grass grow on it. I hate grass, but I think at this point that's probably the best solution, because building a big rock retaining wall is a lot of work, and I'm out of rocks, so couldn't build it even if I wanted to. I am really running out of time to be able to work on this project with my gutter cleaning season coming up. So instead of doing the big patio with the rocks like I wanted to do, just filled everything in with mulch just to let it set for the winter. That way we're not, you know, tracking mud in the house when I'm tromping around in big boots like Gaston. So I've gone through and hosed off all of the rocks, spiffed everything up. I think it turned out really good. I still have to make a cap for the tank access, but I'll do that later. It is not too deep that if something falls into it, it can't just jump back out again. So it's okay right now.
Okay, bye.